What is going on, guys? Another beautiful video, another beautiful night. I'm fucking tired. I am not used to working as much as I've been working. It's crazy, dude. But I'm not like complaining either because I need this job. But damn, my fucking body is beat. I want to walk him, but he's not gonna want to walk, so there's no point. Well, you're not gonna want to walk. Watch what happens. We could try it, but I know you're gonna be weird. Watch. Gotta put the fucking thing on him. Watch. Go. Watch what he's gonna do. Go. Now watch, bro. He's gonna get right here. Oh, now you wanna walk. Alright, never mind. Wait, let's see how long we do this. Yesterday he was, he didn't even wanna walk. That's why I made a video by myself. Whatever. This one's about, multidimensional beings. Like other beings in other dimensions that we're connected to, by the way. Us as humans. Sorry, buddy. Oh, you're doing the... Oh, okay, I thought he was gonna not come. I was like, you're doing the thingy, huh? You don't want to walk anymore. Okay, what's new? But there's a metaphor that I thought of that I wanted to talk about in this video. It was, imagine a tiny character living on a piece of paper, right? Their entire universe has only two spatial dimensions. I guess that's how you would say it. Forward, backward, left, right. That's their reality. That's reality to them. Now imagine placing your finger above the paper. From your perspective, you can see their entire world at once. You can see what's behind them, ahead of them, things hidden, behind walls. But from the character's perspective, your ability would seem impossible to them, like crazy. They'd be like, what the fuck, how? So it's like this thought experiment gives us an interesting way to approach one of the strangest topics in philosophy, esoteric philosophy. Higher dimensional beings, motherfuckers. First, we need to separate two very different ideas. And there's mathematics and there's physics. Dimensions have specific technical meanings. We can mathematically describe spaces containing additional dimension. Some physical theories also explore extra dimensions. But it doesn't establish the spiritual claim that intelligent beings live in 5D or that consciousness automatically moves between dimensions, you know what I mean? That's a different conversation. That's metaphysics. And this is where things become fucking interesting and fascinating. Because throughout history, cultures have described experiences of intelligence seemingly beyond ordinary human perspective or perception. Guides, angels, ancestors, spirits, higher selves, other forms of consciousness. Different traditions, interpret it differently. And there's no single scientific explanation proving that these things are literal beings from higher dimensions. But again, when you go through a level of awakening, your soul knows and feels that you don't need evidence. You don't need scientific proof to know that yes, there are other beings in other dimensions that we're a part of and connected to. It is just the ego wanting validation and physical proof to know that it's true. But you don't need that shit. I don't believe in it. Oh, he's done walking now. All right, let's go. So, yeah, sure, there's no evidence. But there is, actually. Look at yourself. Look around. It's all a part of it. But to the ego, to science, there's not enough evidence, blah, 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 but whatever. Besides that fact, it doesn't mean that it isn't true. But some esoteric frameworks, purposes something interesting, or proposes something interesting. What the fuck purpose is? Maybe dimension isn't, being used to describe a physical location, Maybe it's describing a level of perspective, a frequency, like not just a different location. Like think about consciousness. Right now you're experiencing reality through your five senses, one point, one perspective. Your body, your memories, your senses, your thoughts, eyes, ears, whatever, your location, your, did I say body? Yeah. Your moment in time. But imagine an awareness capable of accessing vastly more information simultaneously all at one time. From our perspective, such an intelligence might appear almost impossible to understand. Like, what the fuck? How you doing that? Not necessarily because it's supernatural, but because our viewpoint is limited as fuck. So it's like imagine an ant crawling across a computer screen. It sees pixels, you see the movie. You can see the movie, same surface, different level of understanding. So it's like you zoom out more. Now connect this with with my previous video that I made, when we explored the idea of the multidimensional self. What if what people call the higher self isn't another individual floating somewhere in space? What if it represents a broader perspective of consciousness? Like maybe like they're imagined as completely separate intelligence, but really we're all one. Like, mystery doesn't require certainty, I guess you could say. Sometimes mystery is more interesting when we resist pretending we already know the answer. But here's the part that matters for, awakening. You already know what expanded perspective feels like. If you've meditated, if you've done plant medicines, you're opening your third eye, you know what expanded perception feels like. And think about an argument you had like 5 years ago. During the argument, you were inside that argument, right? Emotions, anger, fear, ego, and years later, you can look back and understand both sides. Your perspective expanded. The situation didn't necessarily change, rather the observer did. That's a tiny example of something profound. Higher consciousness doesn't have to mean becoming some glowing interdimensional wizard flowing through fucking Saturn. It can begin with your perspective, seeing beyond your immediate reaction, beyond the ego, beyond fear, beyond the story you've been repeating, seeing yourself as a part of something larger. And perhaps that's why so many spiritual traditions associate awakening with expanded awareness. Not gaining superiority, because, we're all equal, we're all one, but gaining perspective. Because the higher you climb a mountain, the more landscape becomes visible, right? You see more. The person in the valley sees one road, whereas the person on the mountain sees how many roads connect. Like when you're in the plane, you look down and you're like, wow. I remember being in the plane and I was just looking at the fucking road. And I was like, damn, this is a fucking matrix. It is a simulation, man. Like everyone's down there in their own world, driving, unaware, oblivious that there's a dude in the plane looking down at that car that they're driving. You know what I mean? This is a little perspective, but there's so much more than what you're perceiving at that one time, And maybe consciousness works similarly. Maybe what humans call higher dimensional intelligence is, and at least some traditions, is ultimately pointing toward forms of awareness capable of seeing more than the landscape. Like, you could say we don't know, but then you could also say our soul knows more than the ego can comprehend and remember during your experience here on Earth as a human. But the question itself stretches consciousness beyond its usual boundaries, and perhaps that's the fucking point. Because the ego asks, what do I already know? Whereas awareness asks, what haven't I learned how to perceive yet? You know what I mean? Because really what I'm trying to get at is, don't get so fixated on this human experience to where you forget and you get lost in amnesia, believing that and thinking and forgetting that there is more than what we're seeing and perceiving with our five senses. That's the moral of the story, you know? Isn't that right, Marley? And it's cooling down now, so I think I will be able to make a nice hike vlog during the day. I miss it. It's cool making vlogs at night, don't get me wrong, but I do want to do like day vlogs. But yeah, dude. There's other beings out there. I say this with such certainty. And if you're someone who has been doing the work and expanding your consciousness and trying. Holy shit, that fucking scared me. It's a big dog. It's a big dog. You fucking jump high, damn. Almost about to jump over the fucking wall, dude. Crazy. Anyways, motherfucker's big, dude, damn. It scared me. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah, if you well, you're watching my video, right? If you've been doing the expanding of the consciousness, you meditating, plant medicines, whatever, you've had near-death experiences, outer body experiences, whatever, you've been to other dimensions, right? And you've telepathically talked to other beings, then you know what I'm talking about. There are other dimensions, there are other realms and realities and planets and star systems. But there seems to be some sort of what's the word? I don't want to say they, but it's almost like we're led to believe that, oh, there's not enough evidence, so we don't know. And then it just keeps you like, oh, okay, well, just shut up and put the fries in the bag, you know what I mean? Pay your bills and just stop talking about this alien shit. But at a higher level, the reason why is so that you don't question your existence. You stay a good obedient NPC. Don't question more. Just settle down to reality, alright? Aliens, we don't know if they're real, blah blah blah. They're real. We are it. We are a part of it. You are an alien. It's in our DNA. We're not even full human. We're hybrids. And if you know who Bashar is, he's a channeler. We're becoming the 6th hybrid race or some shit like that. Like there's many other races out there, but we are not full human. We're hybrids. And that can sound crazy to the people who don't talk about this stuff, you know, like, dude, what crack are you smoking? I don't know if I could say that on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube, please don't fucking ban me. You know what I mean, though? They're like, what are you on, man? Hybrids. Like a car? Like, gas and electric at the same time? I'm like, no, it just means that you're a human and you're mixed with other species of, yeah, you know what I mean? It's fucking shit. The rabbit hole goes deep. If you freaking, it's another video. But yeah, we are aliens. You're literally just temporarily experiencing the human life, the human game. And when you're done, you will go and experience other planets, other ways of being. You know, that technology is different, everything's more alive, just the vibration's higher, different densities, blah, 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 whatever. Just the way that we see life and reality working here on Earth is not all that there is. But we as humans, or at least us in the experience of humans, we forget, and we get so immersed, and we think this is it and whatever, and then the ego wants proof of validation that there is more. And it's just like, bro, if you're going through an awakening right now, you know deep down in your heart and in your soul that there is more and that you are more. So yeah, there are other higher dimensional beings having an experience just as we are. We're all one. We're all connected. They are you, just in a different form. We are all different expressions of the one consciousness of creation, of God, whatever, universe, whatever you want to call it. We are all one, and we are simply expressions and extensions of the one. So yeah, namaste Liddy as a titty, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, love you.